Right, and good morning, everyone, and welcome to this segment of the program where we will bring you insightful coverage of global and local affairs. Now, TVC, like I said earlier, this is the Women's Week.
Well,
Saturday is the main day.
I'm yet to get my flowers, so I don't know about that. Yes.
No, you get your flowers. All the women in our lives, our mothers, our grandmothers, our wives, our sisters, they all deserve their flowers. So to all the women, just take your flowers.
Yeah.
As the world commemorates International Women's Week, we turn our focus on a critical issue: investment in the girl child, the role of the public and private sector, education, healthcare, technology, and entrepreneurship. These are key sectors where investment in the girl child can lead to long-term national development. But the question is, how far has Nigeria gone? Over the past decade, international efforts have intensified to bridge the gender gap in education and economic opportunities. However, while there has been progress, gaps still remain. According to a recent UNESCO report, over 130 million girls worldwide are out of school due to financial constraints, cultural barriers, and inadequate infrastructure. In response, both public and private sector players are taking bold steps to address this disparity.
Through policies like free education for girls, scholarship and mentorship programs, Nigeria is seeing a rise in school enrollment and skill acquisition. However, Nigeria must do more to ensure these investments lead to real empowerment and economic independence. Despite these efforts, challenges persist, ranging from limited funding and policy enforcement to social norms that still restrict girls' access to opportunities. Experts agree that stronger collaboration between governments, corporations, and non-profit organizations are needed to accelerate progress. It's clear that while strides are being made, there is still a long way to go. The future of millions of girls depend on consistent investment and commitment from all sectors. Now let's turn to our guest who will weigh in on what more can be done to bridge the gap. Let's welcome the Executive Director, Policy House International, Taiwo Akereli. Thank you for joining us on the program this morning.
Thank you.
Nice to have you.
It's good to have you. I would have told you Happy International Women's Day, but you are a man.
But it's good that it's the man that wants to speak for the women. With solidarity with our women.
He for she, so it's a good one.
We are surrounded by women.
Exactly.
It's good to have you. Well, let's jump straight into the conversation. According to UNICEF, about 10.5 million children aged from 5 to 14 are out of school. And out of this number, a staggering 7.6 million are girls. Could it be that despite efforts to get more children enrolled in schools, there's no strategy deliberately targeting the girl child?
Yeah, thank you very much. And once again, thanks for having me. I want to congratulate all our women for this year's 2025 International Women's Day. You did a very rich background. You know, the concept note around this discussion was very rich in terms of reviewing all the efforts that have been made by both local and international actors to ensure that women are mainstream into the main sectors of the economy, political, and of course social environment, and of course the entire ecosystem. But the efforts have not been far-reaching, and the issues are very clear. Traditionally, over the years, even before Western education, women have always been discriminated against. So in the last 60 years, post-independence, Nigeria has made effort to mainstream women into the economy, political, and of course the economic scheme of things. But these efforts have been undermined as a result of our cultural practices, religious discrimination, and of course so many beliefs. So in the last few years, a lot of efforts are being made to ensure that women are brought into the scope of things. But you discover that the optics, the data, doesn't speak to the efforts that are being made. For example, you just made mention of the issue of out-of-school children in Nigeria. If we have 10.5 million children that are out of school, I can assure you that 80% are women. If there are kidnapping of children in Nigeria or any part of the world, I can assure you that if we have 10 kids kidnapped from school, 10 of them must be women. If there are rape cases, of course, chances are that women have been raped. If there are elections and people have lost the election, the chances are that women are the ones who have lost, right? And, so many, then if there are employment opportunities, the chances are that women will be discriminated against, maybe on account of marriage, on account of cultural practices, on account of child. Then even the issue of reproductive rights, women are not getting fair share, right? Then look at our investment in maternal health, infant care. So many things are against women as we speak. But what is our response as a government? What has been our response as a people? I know that government has made effort to ensure that women are mainstream, but apparently the policies are not far-reaching. And it's very disappointing that when you see, government trying to empower women, they go empower them through grinding machine, Keke, Napep, sewing machine and all. All these have not amounted to any significant, have not cumulated into what we expected as a society. There must be adequate investment in education. Women must be protected from rape. Women must be, our girls in schools must be protected against being kidnapped. And of course, people should no longer be forced into early marriages. All these things are what is, undermining government effort to ensure that women are empowered. So as we celebrate the 2025 Women's Day, which is tagged, for women and for girls, empowerment, rights, and equality. And these three things are divided into three major components: political, economic, and social, right? So when we look at the social part, it's very damning. When you look at the economic part, it's very. When you talk of poverty, women are poorer than men. When you look at the number of people who are involved in prostitution, 70 to 80% of people who are involved in prostitution are women, and it's as a result of poverty, as a result of basic education, lack of basic education, lack of skills acquisition, right? And of course, discrimination against them. Then when there is when there's collapse in marriage, women suffer the most. So all these combined together have not allowed us to make progress as a society. All these combined together have not made us to really celebrate women in Nigeria. And effort have to be made cumulatively by all parties to ensure that our women are mainstream.
Okay, in attempt to